Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today I just wanted to talk to you about a concept that I learned from the great late Jim Camp, which was about assumptions. Now, as designers, we like to assume a lot of things. We like to assume what colors are the best. We like to assume what the user wants. We like to assume what the business needs, right? And so as designers, we are very much assumption based. And I don't think we should be. Now, for me personally, when I read the book Start With No by Jim Camp, it really changed me. I even bought the Michael Senoff offer that he does where he interviews Jim Camp. And it made me really think about how much assumptions I go into it. Now, a lot of it was about sales, but I'm taking the design approach where as designers we need to ask questions. But we can't do that if we are going to assume. If we assume, then that just means that we have closed the figurative door on the potential client, the potential prospect, the potential user of what is best for them, right? So I wanted to go through 4 of the biggest reasons why you should not assume anything in your designs when you're going through the research phase. So the first one is blind spots, right? So you are assuming what the user wants. One example that I can think of off the top of my head is airline apps, right? So when you download an airline app, I'm going to use an American. The reason I download the American app is for boarding passes. That's it. Everything else is mute for me, just for me personally. Now, other people want to book directly on the iPhone. Other people want to see deals. Other people want to see flight information, how to redeem their miles, right? And that's things that you need to consider as a designer. So instead of assuming that everyone wants to only have a QR code wrapper, basically, why don't you think about having opportunities for them to book directly on the app, having special deals for booking on the app, things like that, things to consider and things to bring up to your client, right? So the second point is designing for yourself. When you're designing for yourself, there is a huge difference between what the user wants, because it's yourself, and what the business needs, right? So if you're just designing for yourself, you're going to want to make it as pretty as possible. You want it to be amazing. You want all the animations. You want to show off, basically, which I don't blame you. I love to show off too. But when you are designing for yourself versus the business doesn't need all that flashy gimmicks. It doesn't need all those design animation, cool, fade-ins, right? Or the parallax scrolls. Because for some users, that's just completely frustrating and they're just going to click out and you haven't even gotten any of their information besides, the basics, right, from Google Analytics. And the third point is designing for other designers. Now, this ties into designing for yourself because let's be honest with you, or let's be honest with each other, we always want to one-up each other when it comes to other designers. Like if I see someone on Sketch and they make an awesome button, I want to recreate it and then I want to one-up them, right? It's basic human biology where we want to be the big strong tribe. And so when you're designing for other designers, you care more about award type audiences rather than the business needs, where I want to design for people looking for landscaping instead of I'm designing to win a awards.com trophy, for example. So that's for creating blind spots with assumptions. Bad decisions. Now, bad decisions waste time. They usually don't align with business goals, and you always need to stay curious. Biggest takeaway for this is as a designer, you have always got to be curious. Always got to be questioning, how do I do this? When do I do this? Where in the design do I use this, right? So it's going to be a lot more difficult if you are assuming, because you're going to be wasting time by assuming. Next up, it kills curiosity. So in my opinion, the greatest tool in designers' toolbox is curiosity. You always got to be curious, just like I touched about earlier, and you always got to be asking why. Why am I designing this? Why am I creating a pixel for this? Why am I doing this, right? And then test ideas before you delete them. All right. So, for example, I want to test gradients versus non-gradients. I'm not going to delete the non-gradient first. I want to test both of them. See what the client likes. See what the users like. Does the gradient make the text hard to see? Do I need an overlay? This is the type of stuff that you got to be doing throughout your process of just constantly asking, figuring out, okay, I'm not going to assume here. What do I need to do for this? And it builds a relationship between you and the client, okay? And it forms neediness. Now, GymCamp goes a lot more in depth with neediness, and I highly recommend you get the book. But to sum it up, no one really likes needy people. I mean, I personally don't. And you want to avoid being attached to an outcome, right? So when you're looking at an outcome, and you really want this design to be successful, you are going to be needy. You are going to sound needy when it comes to the design because you are attached to that design. Now, as designers, we are attached to our work. It's great. It's lovely. But you got to be willing to let go of your designs, be willing to change the design to match the data. All right. I really hope that this helps you out with your business, with your designs, because every day that we get better as designers is better days for us, right? All right. If you want design works for yourself, whether it's websites, apps, landing pages, UI, you name it, I'll help you out if I can. Visit www.narrativenights.com, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.